So it is my pleasure, and it's my honor to welcome you colleagues, friends from all over the world, excellencies. Civil registration, vital statistics are absolutely important, underlying all the sustainable development goals.
So that's why we're so excited to be collaborating with the Centre of Excellence on this compendium of good practices in linking CRVS and identity management. And it's that sharing good practices, encouraging governments to talk to each other and understand the successes and the challenges that each face, that is one of the key things that we do at the Global Partnership. I'm very delighted today to be hearing from 3 of the countries that are featured in the compendium and of several key actors that are working also together to advance the CRVS and the ID agenda.
But, so where do we begin? Where do we begin in understanding how to strengthen civil registration of vital statistics, and where do we begin in understanding the holistic approach that needs to be taken to integrate and link these systems and really provide for all people in the world? Well, we listen to those who are trailblazers. We listen to the countries that are on the path, that have made tremendous efforts already.
So social protection services for the elderly, for the vulnerable groups, the orphanages, registration of birth, deaths, and all the like has been ongoing. So the culture has actually been pre-existing and it has carried on and actually extended and entrenched itself in the provision. We have a good fair map with the distribution of the elderly for social protection. Same for foster care, for orphanage children. The vulnerable groups most particularly benefit because there is a database. We can literally go to a database, interrogate that database between the Ministry of Home Affairs, Ministry of Health and Social Services, poverty and all that. All of these systems are now linked.
All governments must use that data. They must. And that's really a change in processes. So the tax office must use our data. The statistics office, of course, we're glad to do so. Social welfare, social security, healthcare, education, it's all based on the same set of data in our population register. And it's also the basis for, of course, our identity documents and our passports. So we have a truly broad foundational system for our personal data. If a child is born, the child benefits from our system from day one. Because on day one, the child is registered, a birth certificate is made, but on the same day, that birth certificate is registered in our population register. The citizen service number is tied to it, and all the organizations that need the data from the child, we send them the data.
Pleased to be here on behalf of the government of Ecuador to share our experience. The DRC, our institution, the Civil Registry, managed the civil registration information system in an integrated way to the identity management system. Identity documents, and this is very important for us, that identity documents are not issued without a prior or an exhaustive validation of civil acts, records, and also, for example, birth, marriage, or others. The Ministry of Telecommunications presented a draft law on data protection to the National Assembly of Ecuador, with the objective of guaranteeing the rights of all the citizens against the processing of their personal data. This is very important.
We want to hear this from this panel is really about the experience of organizations. How can organizations and networks at the regional and global level support the work on CRVS and identity management? This is very important. Countries need to be supported. Countries need information, as well as, of course, they have lessons to share with other countries, and there needs to be fora where this can happen.
You can't plan for that which you can't measure. And for all of us who are policymakers, have got a concern that you can only make informed policies when you are able to get correct, accurate, and verifiable data. And that can only come from enhancing and strengthening civil registration systems, and also changing the ways of how we collect, analyze, the characteristics that relate to vital events, which is vital statistics.
Scandal of invisibility. This is really a scandal because think of going throughout life without a legal identity. Even to get in this building, you have to show an ID of some sort. Think of coming inside without an ID. Impossible. And think how many other impossible things there are for those who don't have that ID, that legal identity. And this prompted the establishment of the UN Legal Identity Expert Group, and we are here to help establish all sorts of systems in the countries who are willing and ready.
The $1 billion is the budget for the ID4D program that we have, Identification for Development, that we are doing now in partnership with the UN, the CEO of the World Bank, and the DSG, Amir Mohammed, co-chair this big initiative. And we have operations in more than 35 countries. We provide technical assistance, sometimes not very interesting, but this is the starting point of engagement. Then we get into the advisory work for policy and institutional building. And then, when it always counts, the issue of money. There are funds of around $1 billion that are going to be scaled up. So if you have a technical issue, advisory matter, or funding, if you have the ideas, you can really apply to the ID4D, and the website is there, and our country teams in 135 countries are willing to help.
There is an underinvestment, but there is also hope. I think that what we can take away from this meeting. This is a real issue. There are vulnerable groups, children out there that need our attention, and we are all committed to work on this. So think about what you have already done and do more, and then this will have been a phenomenal lunch. So thank you to everybody in this room.